And hang on a second, is that working now? Yes, it is. All right, hello, flipping heck, man. My mic wasn't even working. I thought, oh my god, it sounds like a robot. What the hell? There we go. Bloody hell. Sorry about that. I wondered what the hell was going on. My mic wasn't damn working. Flipping heck, man. This computer's got more bugs than bloody Bugs Life. Here we go. Jesse Lingardinho on the ball again. Can he create another piece of magic? Put England 2 to the good. Gives it to Felipe Foden. Back to John Stones. Like I was just saying before, Ben Chilwell getting himself England's opening goal. Of course, scoring for Chelsea recently. It was a dubious VAR decision which did result in him getting the goal, but he did get the goal nonetheless. And England lead Andorra 1-0 on their way to cruising towards World Cup qualification. Jaden Sancho with the assist. Jaden Sancho, another polarizing character as of late, hasn't had the greatest of starts back in England, back in the Premier League, but this could go a long way to rebuilding his confidence, and for his sake, hopefully allowing him to hit that stride, hit that form that made Man United want to splash the cash for him in the first place. As Ward-Prowse whips in a delightful corner, it's cleared away only as far as Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham now touches it down, drills it across, but bloody hell, man, a touch heavier than Larry Wills' PR wrote there, and it's easily swept away by the Andorran defence. Very, very suspect touch there from what many people call the giraffe on skates because of his lack of balance and coordination in certain times. However, Tammy Abraham, might I say, what another very, very improved player. He's had a great start to life over in Italy, over in Rome, under Jose Mourinho, as the ball comes back out to the edge of the box. And again, it's cleared away. England piling on the pressure here. A tirade of pressure. Applying more pressure than an erection on skinny jeans, I might go as far to say. But yet, unable to get that second goal. Unable to pierce through that, what seems to be quite resolute Andorran back four right now. Could Mason Mount be the man to do it? Could Ward-Prowse be the man to do it? Ward-Prowse, a player who, again, has just got himself back into the firing line for England, has just got himself back into the squad. Of course, with the admission of Calvin Phillips, well, rather, the deadmission of Calvin Phillips due to injury, of course, pulling himself out of the squad because of those injury concerns. It's given Ward-Prowse his crack. What do you guys think of Ward-Prowse? Do you think he deserves to get himself into this England squad? Do you think he deserves to be put in over Calvin Phillips in the first place? I'm very intrigued as to what you guys would think about that. As Jaden Sancho performs a lovely drag back through the legs of Rubio. He is spraying the skills around right now. He has got the skills to pay the bills. And I'm talking about some pretty damn expensive bills here. Gareth Southgate does not muck about. He has Nobu bills up to his damn quarter, receipts, everything. And boy, Jaden Sancho is paying them off right now. Nutmegs galore. I feel like I'm watching Pablo Hernandez back in action. He's unleashing this many nutmegs. Lovely little bit of tight control there as the ball sprayed over to the left. Ben Chilwell now cruising forward like a steam train as he just comes tirading through the middle of the defense. Not doing a lot of side-to-side action. He's literally just storming forward. He is eventually clapped down. But bloody hell, man. They just let Chilwell walk for days there. And Jack Grealish 2.0, the Andorran Jack Grealish, has resorted to stacking him over, chopping his legs away. But it has only resulted in an England free kick, a deep lying free kick, I might go as far to say. And I feel like England will get something out of this game. Ethan, hi. Hi, how are you, my man? How are you, Ethan? Long time no speak. You haven't been in the recent ones, I guess, because now that we're allowed to go back in the games, I believe you have a season ticket, do you not? So you've been at a lot of the games, and I'm very jealous of you for that. But how have you been? How has your life been, Ethan? That's the question. And if that's the question, what's the answer? And the only way we can get the answer is through you, my brother. And most importantly, score prediction, England 4-0 Andorra. That's quite a girthy prediction there. Quite a meaty one. And to be honest, I think it would be a little bit more. I feel like we've broken the deadlock now. We're all over them as John Stones tries to flick it back in. Unfortunately, not able to get it. I feel like the more we come forward here, the more we will get goals. And I feel like it could be a 5 or 6. No, I don't have a season ticket. I guess you just do you just get tickets through the gold membership then? And if so, you must be on it to be getting these tickets going. A lot of stuff to talk about in the world of football. Ruben Joby, hi, how are you? What do you guys think about the Newcastle takeover as we watch England come forward yet again with another piercing attack through the heart of this Andorran midfield? But what do you guys think of that Newcastle takeover? God damn, 320 billion smackaroonies over for the Geordies, the Magpies, whatever you want to call them. But they are now officially the richest club in the world. Of course, I'm sure you've been seeing videos all over the gaff of Mbappe lining up in a Newcastle shirt, Erling Haaland lining up in a Newcastle shirt, a star-studded lineup, the likes of which I don't think they will be able to get, but that's a story for another day. But boy, has that just come out of nowhere, really. It's come out of nowhere and just blown the football world into an absolute frenzy. I mean, obviously, it was touted around last year a lot, and then it was kind of brushed under the carpet after the top six tried to stop it. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just happened all within an 18 to 24 hour spell, and flipping heck has it caused a lot of controversy. Good, I think England will smash Andorra. I think so too, my man. I think so too. If we don't, then there's serious problems here. Serious problems indeed. I mean, if you just want to have a quick gander at the old stataroonies, let's just use possession as one of the stats to tell the story of this game. And England have 92% possession. 92. Andorra with 8%. Have you ever seen anything like it? 8% possession. Flipping heck, man. Honestly, I've seen more movement from a still image than this Andorran team. They are stuck in the mud. They are absolutely, I would say, in dreamland, but they're in nightmare land. They're just stuck. They're still, they're lifeless, and they're getting absolutely ramsacked through at the moment. Newcastle will get a lot of good players and might win the Premier League next year because they're new owners. Well, next year is a bit too presumptuous, if you ask me. I don't think they'll be able to splash the cash that much. I don't think they'll be able to build their squad up that greatly in such a short period of time, if you ask me. Because let's be real here, these things take time. You have to slowly cultivate players in. You have to slowly build up the squad, really. You can't just go splashing the cash left, right, and center, bring in 50,000 star-studded players and have a stacked and jacked squad. It's not really how it works. First of all, they won't gel together. Second of all, you won't be able to spend that much money all in a short space of time, especially without alarming FFP regulations, which don't work. They're about as effective as a guy with they're about as effective as a woman taking Viagra, but I feel like they could be a force to be playing with. However, let me tell you something. Are they necessarily going to splash the cash? Are they just doing this as a stunt to get their name on the map? Do they actually want to win the league with Newcastle? Nobody knows yet. Of course, we all assume that they're going to do a PSG, they're going to do a Man City, and just flood the market with an influx of cash. But are they actually going to do it? Are they going to get away with it? I mean, some of the cheeky stuff I've been going on here, that every single other club in the Premier League, all 19 other clubs have filed a report against it. They have filed a report against Newcastle. They are trying to appeal Newcastle's takeover. I mean, first of all, it's too late. It's already happened. What the hell are they going to do now? Second of all, how are the likes of Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, in any way have any leg to stand on to appeal this with the way their money comes in? I mean, Roman Abramovich, he's no saint. FSG aren't any saints. The Glazers most definitely aren't saints. I mean, Sheikh Mansour. I mean, Sheikh is in the name. It's shaky. It's shady. No one knows where his money comes from. So again, I don't think it's right for anyone to really complain, let alone the big six. And as for some people talking about Leeds fans, I heard some Leeds fans saying, oh, I would have been appalled if QSI took over Leeds. And I don't know what you guys think. I know we've got a Leeds fan in here. Ethan, what you would have thought about QSI taking us over. But for me, I don't care what you call me. If you say I don't love the game, if you want to paint me out to be some villain or whatever, I did not give a rat's ass. I would happily take QSI right here, right now. I would sign the contract myself. I would sign the damn contract. I'd fly them over. I'd fly over there myself and do the paperwork. That is how hungry I am for that kind of foreign investment. Because the only way you're going to compete at the top now is if you get this kind of money. If you don't get this kind of money, then you're not going to compete. And the fact that some fans are trying to take this moral high ground and complain and say they're ruining the game. I mean, the game has been gone for a hot minute. The financial situation of the game is just, it's in tatters. So whether Newcastle get taken over, whether Leeds get taken over by QSI, it's not going to do anything. In fact, all it's going to do is make the league more competitive and potentially start a restructural conversation about the league. Because the way it is right now, it's an absolute mess. And the way I see it, the Saudis won't have any need for a Super League to get money because they already have so much money. So if the Super League problem does come around again, all we're going to be is in a stronger position to refute it with the likes of Man City and Newcastle, who have the money to not want to get involved in it. As England come forward again here. Sorry for rambling on about that. England could make it 2. Kieran Trippier drills it in there, and it is just away, cleared away in the end. Last-ditch challenge. Tammy Abraham moving around in there, getting himself in a dangerous position. Couldn't quite get the tap in there. But this is better from England. We did just have a 5-minute spell there where Andorra got the ball on their feet. They started passing it around, started causing us a few issues. Nothing too dangerous, of course. They were easily dealt with. Ward-Prowse now has a chance to put the nail in the coffin with the free kick here. Whips it in. It's a lovely looping ball, punched away by the goalkeeper, only as far as Messi Lingardinho, who sprays it out to nobody. He doesn't even touch the ball in the end. It is an England throw-in with Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier still in the side. A lot of people thought he would be done and dusted with Trent and Walker's development a couple years ago. But moving over to Atletico Madrid really has reinvigorated his career. And wow, he is now an absolute namesake in that England side. I do not say what minute are you in. I am in the 38th minute, my friend. The 38th minute. Well, just about to go into the 39th minute. What minute are you in? What minute are you in, brother? There's Trippier again. Sprays it forward. Tammy Abraham now. Bukayo Saka. Sakzinho losing out again. Dodgy touch. Not quick enough to the ball there as Andorra comes storming forward. This game really starting to get a bit of life into it now. Andorra fighting back, but bloody hell, that was sloppy. That was sloppy Giuseppe, sloppy Joes, whatever you want to call it. That was poor by Andorra there. And this is really looking like England are going to cruise to an easy win here because Andorra are putting up a little bit of a fight, but that fight is not strong enough. It's not big enough. It's not good enough. And England are really starting to walk through them with ease here now. They're looking legless at times, Andorra. I don't know what kind of cardio sessions they've got going on, but they're clearly not effective as Foden walks through with ease, taps it round the Andorra midfield here. John Stones sprays it out. Foden to Trippier. Trippier to Saka. Back to Trippier. And look at this, man. It's slow from England. Really got to be putting the pressure on here. Really got to take advantage of this before half-time. Get a second goal. Can we, though? Foden on the spin from the volley. Lovely ball through to Saka. Saka's in here. Oh, that is an absolutely outstanding goal. Sensational ball through Phil Foden. Through the defence by Phil Foden, should I say. Saka gets in there. He sniffs out the danger. And when he's there, there's only one thing on his mind, and that is the top corner. And that is exactly where he drills the ball. Lovely awareness by Foden there. Opens up his body. He knows exactly what he's going to do with it. The second he gets the ball, sprays a lovely dink-through ball to Saka. Perfect weight on it. Touches it down with his left foot. Touch of an angel there. and just drills it into the top corner of the net. Keeper lifeless, falling to the floor like a plank there. And England make it 2. England take the double over Andorra here. 2 goals in 3 matches for Bukayo Saka. And England are surely now on their way to an easy victory. That 4-0 that you were predicting before, like I said, mate, once we get the second and the third, I feel like that 4-0 is nowhere near generous enough. And if we don't make this 6 or 7, then I will be shocked. I will be shocked indeed. I feel like we'll probably make it 3 before half time at this rate. Andorra seem to just be getting weaker and weaker. I think we really worn them out, to be honest. We've had so much possession, so much of the ball around their box in their final third, that they've had to do so much work defending, not just physically, but mentally, trying to stop the runs, trying to stop the balls from coming in, that they're getting fatigued already, and that fatigue is only going to get stronger in the second half here. This could have a 7-8-0 written all over it, if you ask me, as it is danced around there by John Stones, and he completely loses out there. What's going on here? Go on, my son. He's having a scrap with Christian. He's throwing the punches in. Harry Kane trying to get involved. Christian and Stones, the Barnsley Beckenbauer. Go on, my son. Give him a swing. Forget Fury Wilder 3. We got Stones versus Daniels here. What's his name even? Stones versus Christian, sorry. Christian's trying to back out of it now because he realizes he's up shit's creek without a paddle. And somehow, John Stones has got himself in the book. Didn't even lay a finger on him, lad. I tell you, he's looking jacked, I can't lie. He is looking jacked. He started off very, very skinny in the early part of his career, but he's starting to put some pounds on him now. Obviously not too much. He doesn't want to be bulky and too heavy, but he is starting to get a bit of strength on him. And you can see that in his performance there. He really, really matured over the past few years, John Stones. People called him immature. People called him lackluster. They called him not a great defender. They said he was all right on the ball, but he was too flashy. He would get caught out. He didn't have good concentration. But as the years have gone on, he's really, really developed. He's really matured. And a lot of people try to pin it down to the defensive partner that he has next to him, whether it be Ruben Diaz, whether it be Harry Maguire for England. They're like, oh, these players are leading him. They're getting him playing the right way. But sometimes, after all, if he starts playing well with all of these different types of defenders, you just got to admit to yourself, you know what? We were a bit harsh on this guy. He's really developed well. He's really matured well mentally as well as physically. And he's a top centre half. And a lot of people were banging on about Ruben Diaz last year in the Premier League. And whilst, yes, I think he did have a great impact on Man City's campaign, I think John Stones was the bigger impact. Him coming back and hitting some serious form really helped City go on that initial 10 to 15 game winning run. And that is the main difference, I thought, in their defence last year that helped them win. I think John Stones was more vital than Ruben Diaz personally, as he sprays a lovely ball out to Ward-Prowse, who almost loses the ball trying to give it to Sancho. Sancho cuts inside, lovely outside of the foot flick, finds its way to Fodenino. Can he carve open another one like a Christmas turkey? Can he splice the ball? Yes, he can. Straight out to Sancho. Sancho, who tries to touch it down and loses out horrendously there. Horrendously. As some absolute legends are supporting me here, supporting the stream. Thank you very much, my dear friends. As Messi Lingardinho scratches his head in shame. Scratches his head trying to figure out a way to get through. Trying to figure out a way to get his name on the score sheet. Been another weird season for Messi Lingardinho, hasn't it? A lot of people expected him to leave to go to West Ham. A lot of people scared about about a lot of things. But I'll tell you something. He is really doing the business for Man U, and yes, he's not going to get a starting position, which is bad for him. But he could have a vital role to play this season. Michael Brown, sad that Newcastle have sold their soul for money to a country with terrible human rights abuse and where women are treated as second-class citizens. Also behind the murder of journalist Khashoggi. Hi, JT. Hi, Michael Brown. And we'll support you evermore, JT. Thank you, Martin Cook. I think that's how you say it. Cookie Cook. You absolute living legend. Well, it's funny. We were actually just talking about this whole Newcastle thing earlier. I don't think they've done anything wrong with it. Look, I don't think it's fair to say they've sold their soul. Yes, the Saudis have questionable money, but first of all, there's a point that's been raised by a lot of people. The British government are already in deals with the Saudis. So if the Saudis are that bad and their money is that toxic, is that dirty, then why is the British government already making handshake deals with them, already participating with the Saudis already? You can't really have it both ways and say that we're able to do that, but Newcastle ain't able to do that. That's the first thing. Second of all, it's not like the money in the Premier League from the other places like Manchester City and Roman Abramovich is especially clean money. I mean, if you look into the stuff that Roman Abramovich has done behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure you'll find it is nothing short of extremely shady. Maybe not quite as bad as the Saudis, but I mean, in different ways, there is a lot of dirty stuff there that is being covered up. Same with the Glazers. Same with Man City and Sheikh Mansour's money. So it's not like this money isn't already in the Premier League. And for Newcastle, you're either going to have an owner that doesn't give any shits about your club. He doesn't care if it goes into well, he does care about his money, but he doesn't care about competing or anything. Or you're going to get multi-million-pound owners with questionable money to give you some backing. I hope Cookie is fine. I hope Leeds United don't go the way of Newcastle and selling out to a country like Saudi. You know what? I think you may dislike me for this, but I'm honest. I'm not gonna toe the line here, and try and act like I'm some human rights activist or I care. Obviously, I care. Like some of the stuff that's going on there, I find it disgusting personally. But if you told me tomorrow that QSI were gonna come and buy Leeds, yes, QSI have some questionable money. Yes, a lot of things they do behind the scenes aren't great. And if I could change it and stop it, I would. I'd still take their money in a heartbeat. I would go over, like I said, I would sign this deal myself because the only way we're going to properly compete at the top is if we get this money, if we get this dodgy money. Maybe you're a better man than me in that you wouldn't want us to get involved in it, but I don't see anything wrong. If I was a Newcastle fan, I would be having pints to celebrate that Saudi ownership. If I was a Leeds, well, I am a Leeds fan, and QSI were coming knocking on the door to buy us, I would bang that door wide open. I'd offer them a mug of tea, a cup of coffee, anything they wanted to help make their life more comfortable and get their feet under the carpet. Because, look, I want that damn money. Look, if we could just get rid of all the shady money in the league and maybe go back to how it was before and actually clean up the league, clean up the money in the league wholesalely, then I'd say yes. But the fact that there's already shady money from the top, I mean, FIFA and UEFA are just as corrupt as the Saudis. I mean, we're playing a World Cup in Qatar. We're playing a World Cup in a country where people have died making the stadiums. They've died making the stadiums that we're going to play in. This is how messed up football is from top to bottom. So, if you're a Newcastle fan, I don't really have any problem with it. But look, we can agree to disagree. I 100% understand where you're coming from with that. And like I said, maybe you're a better man than me. That you would rather Leeds not compete if it meant we were going to get dodgy money. But I'll say how that's just how I feel. I think that it's already so messed up that it can't get any more messed up with the Saudis coming in. And I think it only protects us further from a European Super League from happening because Saudis won't need the money from a Super League. So the Saudis will be more than happy to stay in the Premier League and help fight against it. But these are just some reasons I think that could caveat that. Of course, like I do say, it is still dodgy money. Yes, it's questionable, and I wouldn't pin that on the fans. I pin that more on the league than the fans for just celebrating that. And to be honest, I think a lot of the celebration wasn't just that it was Saudi owners, it's that they were getting rid of Mike Ashley. It's like when we had Ken Bates. I don't care who we're getting after him. We were celebrating once we got rid of him because he was that useless. And it's just like that, if you ask me. Newcastle are being linked with new players in January, including Calvin Phillips. Hope that's true. Yeah, this is the scary thing I was thinking. I was mainly thinking of Rafinha. I was thinking with this new money, Newcastle are another squad that could tempt Rafinha away because at the beginning, with a club like Newcastle with all this money, they can't just go straight away and get Mbappe because he's not going to go there until they get European football. So the best thing they can do is pick off a player, a top draw player who hasn't got European football. One of those players who could be on their way around is, of course, Rafinha. Rafinha, of course, we haven't tied him down to a new long-term contract recently. And with Newcastle, with all this money, maybe they could tempt him away with if they, if they're willing to offer him a couple $100,000 a week to help try and push him there. And I'm actually really scared about it. And I am just begging that QSI come back in so that we can stop them from taking the position, because there's 1 or 2 spots left to get ourselves back into that top 6. We only have a year left of Bielsa to try and make it back up there. We only have a few years before we become stuck in the mid-table fight, and the only way we can do it is if we quickly manage to get ourselves European football and build. And with Newcastle, with all this money, it's only going to make that challenge even more difficult. But having said that, I am happy for Newcastle fans, but I'm not happy as a Leeds fan. Logan Batterson, who was QSI? QSI is Qatari State Investment Group, and they are the owners of Paris Saint-Germain. They are probably, I know what it says about Nasser Al-Khalifi's net worth, but he's not actually the one funding it. It's funded basically by Qatar. So they are the second wealthiest owners behind the Saudis now. I don't care what that list of 10 richest owners is. They are the second wealthiest, and they had shown a heavy interest in buying Leeds. Of course, Nasser Al-Khalifi, the chairman of QSI, is very good friends with Radrizzani, and there was very close links to it. Unfortunately, it's looking more and more likely like the San Francisco 49ers are going to be the ones who take us out. But QSI, yes, again, to caveat it to what Michael Brown was talking about earlier, they do have shady money. Again, the Qataris, the Saudis, the Russians, the Americans, wherever a lot of these rich people get their money, you'll find that there is shady stuff that is being hidden. There are shady ways that the money is coming in. So there is that, and yes, maybe you don't want Leeds to be associated with something like that. But what do you guys think? Is it just me who would be on board with QSI taking over Leeds? Is it just me who doesn't really feel a bit affected by the Saudis? And you know what, Michael? I want to pose a question to you here. If you were a Newcastle fan right now, and think about how you would have felt about Mike Ashley this entire time through everything he's put you through, and you had just been taken over by the Saudis. What would your emotional reaction be right now if you had just been sold by Mike Ashley, a guy who has almost put your club in the shitter and completely killed all hopes and dreams any of your fans had, and you'd just been taken over by the Saudis? What is your instant reaction? It might put yourself in that position. It'll be funny if they get relegated this season because they have the squad they have at the moment isn't good enough to stay in the Premier League. They will have to splash the cash in January to overhaul their current team. Yeah, and I think they will. And I think first of all they'll also splash the cash to overhaul their current manager, which I think would go a long way to also keeping them up. I think now there probably isn't so much of a chance of them going down. Plus, you have to look at the fact that those players will be even more hungry to prove themselves under this new ownership. There's hope around the club. The fans will be more reinvigorated. The whole club in general will be more reinvigorated. So even with similar playing staff, I think they will just naturally improve because of factors off the pitch. People, when they look at clubs' performances, they only tend to look at what's going on the pitch, but everything that's going on behind the scenes has a huge impact on what's going on the pitch. I mean, just look at Leeds in general. Yes, Bielsa was the man who turned everything around, but Radrizzani was the man who started everything. We did have a couple of good spells before that. I mean, when we had Gary Monk there, we had a decent charge. The early days of Thomas Christiansen, we had some positive momentum going there, and it stems from not only Radrizzani, but it also stems down to Victor Orta, and it stems down to Angus Kinnear, and it stands down to the board and everything that was going on there, which translated onto the pitch. It translated to the fans. The fans finally felt happy. They felt hope again. That was again translated into the players on the pitch in the stadium. And I feel like a similar thing will happen to Newcastle. Yes, it would be funny if they got relegated, like he said. Of course it would, but I don't personally see that happening. But like I said, Michael Brand, how would you feel if you were in that position right now? How would any of you feel if your club had just been taken over by the Saudis? Because it is a very polarizing topic right now. Um, it is a very, very polarizing topic. I put myself on one side that I'd say it's the league's fault. It's the fact that the whole system is corrupt and messed up and twisted and convoluted from top to bottom. That I don't know. That I don't think you can blame Newcastle fans. It would be mixed because I would be relieved to see Mike Ashley go and possibly Bruce as well. But with the Saudi track record on human rights abuse, it wouldn't sit entirely well with me. And you know what? I can understand that. And part of me at Leeds, if QSI did come in, part of me with Leeds would feel similarly. I'd feel a bit weird about the where our money's coming from. I feel a bit guilty maybe about the fact that yes, they are abusing people back home and then they're going and buying our country. Yes, I would. But then again, I would also feel extremely excited at the prospect of Leeds being able to go out into the market and buy Mohamed Salah, Erling Haaland coming back to Leeds, back to his homeland, Mbappe even, Lionel Messi, players like this. I would be absolutely ecstatic with something like that happening. Obviously, like I said, there is the caveat to it. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of Newcastle fans, even the happy ones, that are also feeling mixed emotions right now. Is San Francisco 49ers all that? I don't think they are personally. I really don't like the idea of American owners coming into the Premier League. I think if there's one country's ownership that I would not want to have in the Premier League, at my club especially, it is the American owners. In light of what happened in the Super League, the American owners were the massive driving force with that. Those were the ones that wanted to Americanize the game. And I don't really feel comfortable with the San Francisco 49ers getting close to Leeds personally. I've got nothing against them, and I don't really have anything to say against them specifically. And you could say, well, it's not fair to paint them in the same brush as the Glazers, as Stan Kroenke, as FSG, but I still don't feel very comfortable with American ownership in the English Premier League after what they tried to do. So I would much rather have QSI. Plus, do they have enough money to overhaul the squad like it's needed to get us back to where we really want to be? Questionable. What do you guys think about the San Francisco 49ers, by the way? About them putting putting some moves together for Leeds. Hi, Ethan. Who will Newcastle United managers? Who will be Newcastle's new manager? I don't know. I mean, Conte's even been linked. Eddie Howe's even been linked. I mean, I think Eddie Howe will probably be the more likely one. He could start to build things off. But in the long run, would they trust Eddie Howe with this kind of serious investment? Probably not. Let's be real here. But I don't. I think maybe Conte in the long run could go for an Eddie Howe. They're also linked with Steven Gerrard, who's meant to be a front runner. I don't really understand that because I think he's waiting for Liverpool personally. Hi, Logan. This international break has come at a good time for Leeds as it will give our injured players like Bamford, Calvin Phillips, Ayling and Harrison time to recover. Yes and no. I feel yes and no. I feel we just got a win against Watford and I would have really liked to carry that momentum on into the next game. But like you say, of course, our squad was running very thin. We did have a lot of key injuries. And even Llorente, he had a bit of an injury scare in that game. He did, he was running awkwardly on his leg at times. And it's good to give him that extra bit of break as well before the next game. Like I said, it does hinder our momentum a tiny bit, but it will be good to have, hopefully, Rafinha back firing on all cylinders, Calvin Phillips back firing on all cylinders, Ayling and Bamford firing on all cylinders again, that cannot be any problem at all. Of course, it is a shame to see Phillips and Bamford miss out on an England call-up, but what can you do? They have money, maybe not enough, though. Who the 49ers? Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think they'll have enough money to keep us in and around the league, but I think it will be another Leicester situation or a Tottenham situation where we can just about get in and around there. But I don't want that. I want a Man City situation, a Chelsea situation where we're splashing all kinds of cash. And that's what I said about QSI. And that's what I said about the Saudis, is that if you do really want to compete at the top in the Champions League, in the Premier League, you need that kind of money. Arsenal, what about Arsenal? Arsenal have some sweet investment themselves from Stan Kroenke. Well, sweet investment, ability to invest, but they're not going to invest it because he doesn't care. However, that Daniel Elk stuff is still kicking around. You did see him at the North London derby with Thierry Henry, of course. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that deal could happen? Do you see Stan Kroenke selling out at all? I personally don't. I think they're waiting to do another Super League action. That is by no means done and dusted. Give it another few months or so, and that will be back swinging round. You saw how quick the Saudi thing happened. That all happened within 24 hours or so. It just came out of nowhere. Next thing you know, it was done. And I feel like a very similar thing could happen with the Super League again. Everyone thinks it's done and dusted, but boy, it will come back, and boy, it will come back fast. Arsenal, I go with Antonio Conte, a man who wouldn't. Antonio Conte is a serial winner. He wins the league wherever he goes. And if Newcastle really do want to compete, he's the man to go out with. Ayling will be out for a while. Unfortunately, I think you're right there. Leeds do need an injection of cash because in the near future, the likes of Dallas, Cooper, Ayling, given their age, late 20s, early 30s, will need to be replaced. Absolutely. Of course they will. And you've got to do it slowly. Whether players like what do we call him? Cody Drama will be able to slide their way in. Whether players like Greenwood will be able to push their way into the squad. Crescencio Somerville, and then we wouldn't have to spend so much on them. I don't know. That all depends. I don't think Cooper really needs to be replaced because we do have 3 top centre halves. I mean, Cresswell, he could do the business at left back for Dallas, or Junior Firpo, or even filling at centre half like we've seen. But we do definitely need a right back replacement, a backup, and of course some midfield depth, because we do have a lot of aging players in the side. We've also got a lot of players that potentially reach their ceiling, and if we are to kick on to the next level, we do need to replace some of them and supplement them with top quality players, and that is where we need the big money. As we saw in this transfer window, we didn't have the cash to do it. I love how we were doing it, building for the future. So do I. I personally love it as well. I personally love the route we're going with it. But having said that, I would like more to just have unlimited Football Manager level money and just splash it everywhere personally. But I do like the way we're building it. And I think if you supplement that with a healthy influx of cash, then it can only go well for you. Fury or Wilder, I don't know what it is, man. Look, obviously, I'm thinking Fury's going to slap him. He slapped him in the first fight. I don't know how that was a draw. The second fight, Fury absolutely mauled him. But I just feel like something in the back of my head just feels like he's going to lose. I don't know what it is. Like, part of me was just feeling like, with this whole Fury AJ thing, part of me was just like, I kind of feel like Fury and AJ will just end up losing, and we'll end up seeing like Usyk and Wilder as champions, and it'll just be really weird. But part of me just sees that happening for some reason, and then Wilder going and losing to Dillian White or something. I don't know what it is about it. He hasn't been taking it seriously. Of course, he had the scare with his kid earlier on. Touch wood that he's okay. But I don't know what it is. Something in the back of my head just feels like Wilder could cause an upset. But generally, Fury should be able to beat him if you're looking at skills alone. But I don't know. I feel like it. What about you guys? What do you guys think? Atomic Puppet, Fury. Hey, man, I hope Fury does it. I really do. But just something weird he's kind of feeling like that's going to happen. By the way, 5 whole legends supporting the stream. Thank you very much. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're liking from. All I know is you're absolute living legends. Become a new Brentford. Who would become a new Brentford? I hope you're not talking about Leeds there, because Leeds are the farthest thing from Brentford, my friend. Brentford are trying to become a Leeds, but they don't have the infrastructure of a club like Leeds United, and that is their problem. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus are heavily in debt, so the European Super League is still on for them. The owners of those clubs said they believe in the ESL and they want it to happen. Of course they do. Arsenal owners still want it to happen. Did you see what Arteta and who's that guy? Oh my days, I forgot his name, man. The Vinay Venkatesh, what he came out and said after. They didn't dismiss it at all. They said the Super League in this current format is done. And they were asked about another format, and they said, well, we'll have to wait and see, mate. It's still coming. It's still coming strong. Real Madrid, Barca, Juve is still in it. None of the clubs have been sanctioned, which is appalling if you ask me. People are asking, these clubs are asking for the Premier League to sanction Newcastle for their ownership, to try and get them strict of it. But they didn't get any sanctions, really. They got a little slap on the wrist for joining the Super League, which was even more detrimental to football than anything the Saudis are doing at Newcastle. And that's a fact. Newcastle over Leeds, that is an absolutely ridiculous comment, mate. Yes, they've got more money than us now, but hey, QSI could be knocking on the door at any moment. When is the Fury Wilder fight taking place? It's taking place at 5 a.m. I know it's really annoying, these damn American fights, man. It's so hard to watch them without absolutely dismantling your sleep schedule. I mean, I've got a match tomorrow as well, so I can't even stay up and watch it. I'll probably try and watch it in the morning. I might try and wake up at 5 a.m. and watch it. Either that, or I'll have to do the old wake up in the morning, make sure I don't get any spoilers, and slap it straight on first thing. But I don't know, I might stay up. I'll see. It's just really annoying. I really don't like the American time zone for these fights. That's why I liked it when the fights were in Dubai. So it's on like 9 p.m., nice and early, decent time. Even like an 11 p.m. fight like the AJ one's decent. As Lingard comes through there, rips a shot. It's easily caught, easily dealt with by the goalkeeper there. Lovely little bit of play by England there. I got cash on Wilder. I want him to rass up Fury. Why'd you want Fury to get slapped by Wilder? What is it? Do you not like Fury, or are you just in to make a lot of cash from the underdog bet there? You know what? I might put a little bet on a Wilder knockout myself. I feel like the odds return must be pretty decent on that, actually. I might put a little cheeky bet on that myself. Of course, gamble aware, gamble responsibly, and do not bet if you are under the age of 18. I cannot stress that enough. However, if you are responsible like I'm going to be tonight, a cheeky bet on a Wilder knockout could do the business. Just like a bet on Leeds winning the league next year could also. I want Leeds to become a new Brentford, buy young players, sell them if they can, bring in large catch injection like Ben Rama, Mopai, and keep building like that. That has a ceiling, though. That has a ceiling, in my opinion. Like, you could do the Leicester way, where yes, they're smart with what they did and they reinvest the money well, but it has a ceiling. You're never going to really get to the top. Yes, Leipzig managed to do it in Germany and get near the top, but they were still unable to dethrone Bayern Munich. They're still unable to seriously get to, well, not seriously. I mean, of course, they did get to a semi-final of the Champions League, but they're unable to break through that ceiling. And yes, you could say there's still time for them. But you're not going to get a proper competition in the Premier League like that. You're not going to win the league like that. As it's a lovely sliced and diced ball through there to Messi Lingardinho, who just about manages to nod it out, only as far as an Andorra goal kick. But look, man, we're already doing that, but with more investment than what Brentford have. And Brentford are not in as good of a position as Leeds, if you ask me. So I think they need to take a leaf out of our book rather than us taking a leaf out of theirs. And we have more money, so we don't have to do exactly what they're doing. Of course, what their ownership does do is very smart, but I trust Radrizzani in the long run. I want Leeds to sign Dane Scarlett. I'll tell you who I want Leeds to sign. Noah Lang, yeah? Could have got the business for him. Getting a man of the match against PSG. And we didn't get him because we weren't ready to pony up with the cash. We weren't ready to pony up with the cash for Rodrigo de Paul. We weren't ready to pony up with the cash for a plethora of players. None less than Pereira, Mateus Cunha. Top players that could have really improved the side, but what can you do? I got 3-1. 3-1 odds. Decent return. I was hoping it'd be better. I mean, I guess if I bet on a certain round, I could really make some serious bank account details there. You never know. As England still cruise to a 2-0 lead. Connor Cody getting elbowed down the spine there. A brutal challenge there. Referee not really looking at it, not paying any attention at all. Crazy stuff, if you ask me. It's whipped in here. Oh my lord. Who is that? Ben Chilwell is in absolute acres of space. The Andorran defense parts like Moses and the Red Sea. And I don't know what the hell he was looking at there. I don't know if he had a blindfold on. I don't know if he was playing bird box there. I don't know what the hell was going on there. But he had some beer goggles on because he's just headed it straight off the pitch there. Nowhere near on target. That is one of the worst headers I've ever seen. I've seen more hip movement from a still image. That was absolutely ridiculously bad. Could have got himself his second goal of the game there. Don't know what he was playing at. As Foden is hungry. He's hungrier than a viper in a playground. He's hungrier than a fat man who hasn't eaten all day. But clearly that hunger has brought greed, and not only has that hunger brought greed, but it's brought rash decision making, as he's absolutely slashed a shot from about 60 yards, not 60, but 35 yards out there, and gone absolutely nowhere near the goal. As Pickford looks on in disgust, he's about to go slap him up, is what he's going to do. Jordan Pickford. You don't want to mess with Pickford, especially after that Newcastle takeover. As a Mackham himself, he cannot be happy with that one. He must be livid. Sick to his stomach right now. As Chilwell slices the ball back. What do you guys think about these qualifiers? What do you guys think about them interrupting the Premier League schedule? Of course, it's been stop and start, man. The fact that we've had 2 international breaks already in the Premier League and the Premier League campaign has just started is questionable within itself, if I'm quite frankly honest. And I find it quite disturbing, quite annoying. I'm just liking to see every time the Premier League starts to get some serious action in it, these international breaks come up. Yes, these are qualifiers, so maybe, there's a bit more reason for them myself, but I think you could hold them out to later on. Maybe clump them together a bit more, get more done quickly, so you don't have to have so many stop and start breaks in the middle. I find it quite infuriating, actually. Especially when you're watching England play a side like Andorra. But this game has been decent, if you ask me. It has been interesting. England, of course, using what is a B-string side, but we've played some decent stuff. Second half, though, we have dipped down a bit. We've been unable to really put the nail in the coffin with this Andorran side, and we really should be wiping the floor with them, taking them all the way to the cleaners, all the way to the bloody bank, and slashing their tyres open, slashing them open, and really cruising towards a 5, 6, 7, 8-0 here. But as it stands, we're cruising towards a 2-0. We're cruising towards a draw. And I've just realised that I have beef in my bag that I was meant to put in the fridge, and it's probably going manky right now. And if I don't put it in the fridge right now, then we are going to be in serious problem, and it's going to go off. Bring Donny to Leeds. You know what? Donny van de Beek would actually be a good squad player for Leeds, or a good player to maybe slide in there, especially with what Bielsa could get him doing there. I sent Wilder a lucky jock strap. Well, that's all fine and dandy, pal, but I think I'll have you know that that jock strap is actually £5 too heavy, and it's going to weigh him down on the way to the ring. So all you're doing is really costing him his performance there, I'm afraid. What can you say? I bet you got Mike Breland to probably spike their jock strap as well, didn't you? Oh, disgusting stuff. I will quickly come back and talk all about your jock strap with you in just a second. I do quickly need to put that beef in the fridge, like I said. But look at this absolute Raheem Sterling level pace. You see me gone. You see me back in an absolute flash. The king is back. The king is back. Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. The king is back. And he's ready to rumble. I hope I haven't muted this thing here. Hope I haven't muted it. Let me just check. The sound is still working. Yeah, there you go. It is. It's still in action. As England are still in action. Absolutely shitting the bed here. Cody getting skinned. And he manages to make it back as he slow motionally rugby tackles that guy. But I am excited for tonight's fight. Not as excited as I was for AJ Usyk. I must confess, I was just really annoyed that this fight did happen here. This Wilder Fury fight, personally, didn't really want to see it. But now it's here. Of course, I am gripped to it. But alas, we move. We'll see, and maybe there could be an upset going. As Lingard comes forward here, could he cause an upset for England? England is sprayed out to the left. Sancho now to Foden, who's looking absolutely clueless. But do you guys think an upset's on the card? Do you not? Let me know as it's whipped in. Oh, and Tammy Abraham gets his foot on it there. What a lovely goal to the in-form man. The man whose career seemed on the ropes with the arrival of Romelu Lukaku, with the arrival of Timo Werner. But his season, his career has really reignited itself under Jose Mourinho at Roma, and he carries it on with a lovely striker's finish there. He gets into the right position at the right time. Lovely movement from him there, and he just gets his foot on it there. Just about, thanks to his very, very long limbs, he was able to get a foot on it there. And a lovely ball by Jaden Sancho as well. Jaden Sancho getting a bit of form going for him. Of course, heavily criticised at the beginning of the season. Now, for England today, he's had a very decent performance. 2 assists already now. Lovely looping ball in there. And lovely movement from Tammy Abraham to get on the end of it there. Have Leeds got the cash to bring in new players in January? I don't think we will. I don't think we were spending much this year. I don't even know we'll spend much next year, because we made £62 million of debt last year. We, of course, had to deal with COVID and having no fans in the stadium, so we lost a lot of money through that. We spent a lot of money on the new pitch. We're spending a lot of money on the new stadium developments in a couple of years, increasing the capacity to 55,000. And I think that increased capacity is going to mean that we're not going to be able to spend so much money over the next couple of years. We've also been trying to tie players down to longer contracts like Patrick Bamford and Calvin Phillips, which has also stopped us from spending money. So I hope we can go into the January transfer window and make a nice investment, but I don't really see it happening. As Jaden Sancho comes through here and he makes an investment of pace down the wing, skins him like a potato, like a jacket potato on a hot summer's evening. But unfortunately, he is just cleared away by the Andorra defender, who's lying on the floor in excruciating agony here. Some might say the excruciating agony that Deontay Wilder may be in at the end of the night. The excruciating agony that Anthony Joshua found himself in there. The heavyweight title comes back home to the US, hopefully not, my man. Hopefully not. Hopefully Fury slaps the taste out of his mouth. Hopefully, Fury whips him into shape, and hopefully, down the line, we could potentially get that AJ Fury match. I tell you, I'm still gutted. I'm still absolutely gutted about the Usyk AJ fight. What did you guys think about that one? If you did see it, by the way, I know it's Fury Wilder action here, but of course, after that, they do have to fight Dillian White. The winner of this fight does have to fight Dillian White, and then the winner of that will potentially face Anthony Joshua after that. But what did you guys think of the Anthony Joshua Usyk fight in the end? Do you think AJ was the master of his own demise? Do you think Usyk was just too good on the night? And do you think AJ can come back against him? And do you think that Fury has still got the focus and the determination to take on Deontay Wilder? A lot of things going on in his life. His dad not happy with his training camp. And I don't think this is going to be as good of a Tyson Fury as the last Tyson Fury we saw. It's going to be his first heavyweight title defense ever. Ever. How mad is that for a character like Tyson Fury, such a well-known man? Anthony Joshua will win the rematch. I certainly hope so, but I'm scared. I'm petrified. I am absolutely petrified after what happened before. After what happened in that Usyk fight. I'm a lot more scared than I am now. I thought the size was going to make a lot bigger difference. I think it will be harder for Bamford to get back into the England side with the likes of Tammy Abraham doing well for his club, like Roman scoring tonight, plus Watkins, Ings playing well for the clubs. I don't think Watkins and Ings are such a problem. Tammy Abraham, of course, he is a massive problem in Bamford, getting himself into that squad. But it depends, man, if Bamford's going to fix up and start performing like he did last year. Because so far, under this current level of performances he's been given, no, he will not find his way back into the England squad, unfortunately. But if he can pick up his form of last year, I feel like he'll manage to get his way ahead of Tammy Abraham personally. I feel like he offers a little bit more. Joshua cracked his whack. He did indeed, man. He just didn't look sharp in there. It didn't look sharp. I wanted him to go in a bit heavier personally and really try and make the weight count on a cruiserweight coming up. I feel like he trimmed down too much. Some people could say, he needed that for the speed to try and catch Usyk, because Usyk was that much faster, that much sharper, and that much smarter than him, that he needed to drop the weight to try and catch up with him and try and be able to land some shots on him. But I still wanted him to bully him a bit more, get a bit heavier, try and bully him in the clinch personally. And he didn't. But, like I said, rematches can change everything, and what a massive fight that's going to be. Wilder will be dropping some haymakers tonight. He will. Wilder is going to be coming out like a dead man swinging. He is going to be coming for vengeance, for fury, for revenge. It's his last hope, really, before he comes quite a laughing stock in the division after the excuses he's made. It really is one of his last hopes to salvage some dignity back after that last fight. And yes, he's still a very, very, very dangerous fighter. And we could see one or two things. We could see a gun-shy Wilder who's been scared of the damage that he took last time against Fury, of the absolute beating he took. Or we could see a Wilder who has nothing to lose and he's coming swinging for the fences, just really trying to land some haymakers on him and just going for broke, really. And I think that's the only chance that Wilder really has. As Ward-Prowse goes for broke himself, gives it out to Kieran Trippier, sprays it to Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham inside the box, over to Lingard. Lingard with a dodgy touch, loses the ball out, and a bit of pinball action ensues in the box before it is cleared away, only as far, of course, as Conor Cody, who springs the attack back on through Ward-Prowse, sprays it out to the left. Jaden Sancho with a lovely, lovely touch there, gives it out to Chilwell Zinho, and the referees called it for offside. 2 punches to Fury. He will be laid out singing in his sleep. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to take a lot to take Fury down. It's going to take a lot to take Fury down. But I just feel, like I said before you got here, I don't want it to happen, but I could just feel an upset coming. But I can't afford for both heavyweight belts to leave England. That, unfortunately, cannot happen for me. So I think I am going to have to go with a Fury win. Part of me just really sees an upset coming, but I am probably going to have to go with it. And speaking of a knockout blow here, it looks like, is that Connor Cody on the floor there? Has been knocked out himself. Who is that on the floor? It is Connor Cody, and he's just had his jaw absolutely spun there. He's been elbowed in the face. Oh, elbowed in the chin. Rebes, I don't know what his first name is, Marco Rebes, has just elbowed Connor Cody in the face. Absolutely spun his jaw there. There's a knockout blow. Cody has fallen straight to the floor. Gonna be lucky if he's not concussed there. He's jumped out, and that looked intentional to me. The referee hasn't given anything, but that looked very, very, very intentional to me. Have you heard of those two possible signings? Which two possible signings? Which two possible signings are you talking about, Logan? Fury sleeps with the fishes. Do you not like Fury curved glass? Are you just a massive AJ fan, or are you just, I don't know what it is. Do you not like Fury, or are you just, like I said, doing it hoping for the money, hoping to bank some cash? I think one's called John Patrick. I can't lie to you, I haven't heard too much about this John Patrick fella, but not really inspiring me with confidence, might I say. I could do a quick little let me just see who exactly you're talking about here, because I might have heard about it, but the name is not ringing a bell. Yeah, I haven't really heard too much about John Patrick. I cannot lie to you. Irish footballer who plays in midfield for Getafe. He isn't the oldest. Yeah, he was born in 24th of September 2003. He's younger than me. Christ, I'm an old man now. Well, I mean, hey, going down the youngster route again, but we need experience. We need players within that 23, 24, 25-year-old bracket, personally. I don't think that an 18-year-old gamble from Getafe is necessarily the man to go for. Well, we've already got such a star-studded youth team anyway. I mean, if we're looking at top midfielders coming through, look no further than Lewis Clickbait Bait himself, as Andorra try to clickbait England into opening up some gaps in the defence here from this corner kick. It could be the next Haaland for midfield. Not sure about that one. I'm not sure. Haaland is a freak talent. I don't think I haven't heard too much about this geezer yet, so I can't say yes or no. But by this age, Haaland was already starting to shine in the Champions League. That's the only comparison I will make. I think Fury has some good qualities, but he reverts to being back to being a scumbag too often. It depends. I find a lot of the stuff he says entertaining. He is also a guy who, a lot of the stuff he says, he does contradict himself quite a lot, which can get quite annoying at times. But I think he's a good guy deep down. I do find him entertaining at times. I am, of course, an AJ man, an AJ fan, and I do want AJ to smoke him. But other than that, other than AJ and Josh Warrington, Fury is probably my next favorite fighter on the list. And yes, some of the stuff he says and does is questionable, but I think he's got a good heart in the right place. But I can see how he can definitely rub people up the wrong way. Maybe the next Bellingham. Again, man, Bellingham moved to Borussia Dortmund when he was 16 and he was bossing the midfield. At the age of 18, he's bossing England's midfield, Jude Bellingham. He's bossing the Champions League. So like I said, you may be right here. Hopefully he can develop. I mean, hey, if he is that good, Leeds sign him and he starts doing the business for Leeds, then that would be absolutely perfect. But I think Bellingham is a bit too presumptuous. Not presumptuous, sorry, that's the wrong word. Is a bit of a long shot and something that it's probably unlikely to get because, again, Bellingham, I think, is one of those freak talents. Bellingham, of course, not featuring today in that midfield three of Ward, Prowse, Foden, and Lingard. Lingard now, the aforementioned Lingard on the ball, sprays it to the back to Tomori. Tomori, of course. Tomori, what do you guys think about how Fikayo Tomori has done at AC Milan, by the way? Of course, I thought he should have stayed at Chelsea, personally. I thought he'd have done a better job than Christensen. I thought he was probably one of their better defenders while he was there, but he was offloaded to AC Milan, and much like Tammy Abraham, really reignited his career. Maybe pushing that far. Okay, Grealish. Hey, it's too early. It's too early to tell what he could be. Grealish as well, by the way. Do you guys rate Grealish that much? I mean, it's so the power of an international tournament, the way it can just make players stars out of nowhere. Jack Grealish. I mean, football fans knew him from his days at Aston Villa, yeah. But the general public, if you spoke to anyone like that didn't really watch football, just anyone in the streets, and you spoke to them about Jack Grealish, they wouldn't know who the hell you're talking about, really, unless if they were maybe from Birmingham. It's very rare that a lot of people knew him. He was in the Championship just 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He was chilling in the Championship. All of a sudden, that one international tournament, he became the nation's hero, really. Everyone was screaming for him. Everyone loved him. Everyone was banging on like he's the best thing since sliced bread. And yes, he was very good in that tournament. And I actually think he's a really good person. The more I see about Jack Grealish, the more I see the stuff he does off the field, the more I just see him in interviews and stuff. I think he is a really classy guy. And I do think personally he's a really top guy. And I do like him, and I couldn't be happier for him on a human level for the way that his career has really shone. But that one tournament, that international tournament, has made him an absolute household name. I don't think there's a girl on this planet that doesn't want to shag Jack Grealish, and that is a serious fact there. And fair play to the geezer, man. Fair play to him. He's got some serious skill on him. Whether he's set the world alight at Man City, whether he's worth £100 million, that's of course a different conversation. But fair play to the geezer. Tammy has shocked me. He's bulked up. He has bulked up a bit. That's what Jose Mourinho likes his players to do. Jose Mourinho does like his players to put on a bit of physicality. Of course, going to a foreign country as well, a bit of a slower league down there. Maybe he's able to put on a bit more size, play a bit more physically. It's helped develop his football IQ, the way he reads and plays the game. And he has put on a bit of size, and it looks like he's put on a bit of balance as well. It looks like the extra tiny bit of muscle he has put on has helped his balance, because before, like I said, he was a bit of a giraffe on roller skates at times. Bambi on ice, you could say, where he just looked really unbalanced and quite clunky at times. And his lanky long strides just didn't really help him with that. Yes, he's not exactly a bulk demon now, but he looks a lot more physically able. And oh my God, you couldn't write this stuff. The second I said that, he starts running backwards. His foot goes from under him and he slips on his ass. You literally could not write this stuff. Oh my Lord. I'm just talking about how he's got his balance and he's got his footing right, and he just goes and slips on his ass. I cannot be arsed. What is going on, man? We've got some CIA Don looking through my computer right here. Looking through the stream, tripping up Tammy Abraham. Some fishy business is going on. As Jack Grealish fishes in and out, gives it to Mount. It's sprayed in and it's cleared away. Back to Mount, back to Grealish, back to Chilwell. No, it's not back to Chilwell. It is back to Chilwell. Back to Grealish, the Greel deal. Steps inside, flicks it to Mount. Mount to oh bloody hell! What a terrible ball. On FIFA, I'm taking Bolton up the leagues. You play FIFA career mode. I haven't played FIFA career mode in a hot minute. I'm not really a big fan of FIFA career mode personally. I don't know. I'm more. If I did play FIFA, it would be Ultimate Team. I just found it quite infuriating personally. The cracks in the game, but it has improved a bit actually. I have been told they have done a bit of work into it. But shouldn't have chose Bolton, lad. Should have chose Barnet. Oh shit, Barnet even only in League Two anymore. You can't choose them, boys. Um, but let me tell you something. Thog Dad would be very, very happy with your progress with Bolton Wanderers. That's for damn sure. And I tell you who else would be happy with their progress. Jose Mourinho with his little project, Tammy Abraham, like we were saying. Really, really shining here. Really, really blossoming into a top player. A lot of English players that go abroad seem to really be doing well recently. Seems to be a bit of a theme. Tomori, of course, doing very well over at AC Milan. Tammy Abraham doing very well at Roma. Jaden Sancho doing very well at Dortmund. Jude Bellingham doing very, very well at Dortmund. Do you rate Chilwell? I do rate Chilwell, to be honest. I do rate Chilwell. Offensively, especially. He's got quality on him. Uh, do I think he's England's best left back over Luke Shaw? No, I don't. But I do rate him. As Jack Grealish gets taken down, and it is a penalty. It's time potentially for Ethan's 4-0 prediction. You could have got this spot on, lad. I thought it was going to be more, but the Greal deal has been siphoned down by Rubio there. Absolutely slashed down from the back. His monstrous calf there, not able to prevent him from falling over. And it is an England penalty. They're doing a VAR check, but you don't need to check that, son. Unless if the VAR official is Stevie Wonder, I don't think we'll have any trouble with getting this penalty and any trouble with converting it and making it 4-0 as Ward Prowsinho puts his name to the spot. My style is sign the players who are up there. For instance, Biek and Grimes. Hey man, Grimes would have really liked it. Matt Grimes, flipping out. I just realized you were talking about Swansea legend Matt Grimes. A bit of a questionable addition, Matt Grimes. But hey, what can you say? If he's doing the business for you, he's doing the business for you. As Ward Prowse is set to do the business for England, make it 4-0. Come on, my son. Should have been Calvin Phillips here. I'm gutted to not see him here. Of course, England Player of the Year. What a great year he's had for England. But it is Ward Prowse. Steps down, sights the keeper up, gives him a look, looks back down, drills it, and it's saved. And the rebound is there. Ward Prowse slashes in the rebound with his left foot. It is 4-0 England. And that is game, set, and match, boys. That is it. GG, no re in the house. As England make it 4. He does miss the initial spot kick. It is saved, but he reacts quickly. He is sharper than a steak knife, and he lashes his left foot out at it with a connection sweeter than a fine one on Edgware Road. And he slashes it down to make it 4-0. 4 on the shirt for Ward Prowse and 4 on the score sheet for England. 2 goals in his last 3 England matches. He's 75 rated, but only got him for a season, which was my fault. What a bit of fraudulence there. Squid Game. Haven't seen Squid Game yet, actually. Heard a lot of talk about Squid Game. Haven't really had a chance to sit down and watch it personally. But I will get to it just because, everyone's been banging on about it. And if I don't watch it, I'll probably get absolutely slashed up. Probably get beaten up in the streets, to be honest, if I don't end up watching it. But yeah, when I do get time, I will sit down and watch that. But if you have seen it, don't reveal any spoilers. But is it as good as people are hyping it up to be? But then I'm also signing some young players who I get money from, e.g. Scarlett and Basner. That's how you got to do it, man. Got to play it smart. With a club like Bolton, you haven't exactly got that cash flow. Unless if you get a Newcastle United financial takeover situation going on there, then you're going to have to play it smart. You're going to have to play it smoothly, and you're going to have to caress your way up the leagues. You're not going to be able to just cruise your way up there. But a good tactic as well on career mode is basically just sign all the out-of-contract players. because those just seem very, very easy to get. You end up getting like Lionel Messi just sliding over to Bournemouth for nothing. It's very similar to Leeds signing young players who knock on the door first. Exactly. Leeds have done it very smartly, if you ask me, but mainly thanks to the fact that Bielsa's developing these players. And speaking of Bielsa developing, Bielsa developed his protege Pep or Josep Guardiola, and Josep Guardiola is using that development to develop Jack Grealish. As Jack Grealish's calves seem to develop season on season, they only get thicker, girthier, and stronger every time I see them. He must have the lowest calf inserts on the planet, because those things are flipping humongous. They are like actual turkey breasts just hanging off his shin bones there. Ridiculous. You'd expect him to have a more thunderous strike with that kind of thing, to be honest, but he does have a very good technique, especially his curling balls with that right foot. He hits it very, very sweetly there. Does he hit it as sweet as Raheem Sterling? Of course he doesn't, because Raheem Sterling is one of the silkiest, sauciest, smoothest, and sexual players to ever play in the Premier League, to play in the English game, to ever play football in general. He is, a generational talent, Raheem Sterling. And the fact that City haven't been utilising him so much this year, I think is a grave, grave, grave mistake, if you ask me. As England continue to make a grave mistake, allowing Andorra to stroll through here. Texas Rubio. I don't know how you say that. Texas tax evasion Rubio gets the ball down here. Tries to throw it in. Short throw, and it is in the deed. Slashes it in, but Tomori again is there. He's equal to it. And they're in here. Oh, lovely reaction save there. What a beautiful fingertip save. Oh, Sam Johnson, eat your heart out. That was a lovely caressing save there. Kamikaze defending by England in the end. I think it would have been offside. It would have been in the end. As the ball is just poked through. And he's 1-on-1 inches away from the goal there. And I'm not talking Mandingo inches. I'm talking 2-3 inches away from the goal. And Sam Johnson with a beautiful, beautiful reaction save there to keep the score at 4-0, to keep England's clean sheet intact. It's coming to be mid-table. And then we look at the youth players year in, year out, and develop to the Prem. I don't know what you mean by that. It's coming to be mid-table. Oh, you finish mid-table and then you try and develop. Okay, yeah. Fair play to you, geezer. It says England 4-0 because it is England 4-0, my friend. That's why it says England 4-0, because that's exactly what it is. Going to get 10 million when he leaves Dapo Afolian. I'll tell you who you need to sign, my friend. You need to sign Crescencio Somerville if you can, because that guy is the real deal. Let me tell you, if you want to cruise your way to an easy quadruple, Crescencio Somerville is your man. As Saka tries to do a Somerville-esque flick with the outside of his left foot, but unfortunately for him, fortunately for Andorra, and unfortunately for England, that flick goes absolutely nowhere. No, I predicted England 4-0. You did predict England 4-0 indeed. And your prediction could be on here if England aren't able to get a fifth in the next 5 minutes, because we are damn sure not conceding. Oh, I said, yeah, no, I thought you said it says. Yeah, I said, okay. I get you. I understand now. I understand. He said at the start of the game prediction, he did say that indeed. Gonna get clickbait. What an excellent decision that is, might I tell you. What an excellent decision. Lewis, clickbait, bait. One of the most star-studded midfielders on the planet. Could put a player like Jude Bellingham to shame. He's got that much talent. Wow, what a player he's going to turn out to be. Mark my words. Mark my words like Goldbridge. Mark him like Upson. Markham like England have here for this set piece as the Andorra players struggle to make any space. And what a throw by Sam Johnson. Jack Grealish now takes it in, takes it out. He's still got it. Oh, the real deal makes it 5. What a goal. He was cool, he was calm, and he was composed. And he's absolutely put Ethan's prediction to shame there. And what a throw by Sam Johnson that was there. Making a beautiful reaction save just a second ago as he launches the ball forward there. Lovely touch by Grealish. Cuts in, cuts out. He has 2 men around him. Takes his time, composes himself, and whips it into that bottom left-hand corner. An absolutely orgasmic piece of play there by the real deal, the £100 million man, the man with calves the size of Jupiter, as he slides the ball into the bottom corner there. Beautiful, beautiful finish. I was wrong in my prediction. You were wrong indeed. And it looks like I'm going to be right with the 5-6 niller. Hopefully, we keep that clean sheet. And hopefully, we make it 6 or 7, to be honest. I think we can. I think there's no reason why we can't or we shouldn't. And it's a lovely, lovely, lovely bit of play there by the real deal, Jack Grealish. Really, really proving his worth there. And he does seem to be maturing and aging like a fine wine, does Jack Grealish. It's taken him a bit of time to get to the point where a lot of people thought he was going to be at the age of 20. But as the years go on, he seems to be getting better and better, and he's only going to improve more now under Josep Guardiola. And what a player he could be in a year or two's time. And here he is again, Jack Grealish. Takes it inside. Lovely, lovely little bit of run there. Takes the ball in his stride. Glides through players. Gives it to Foden. Another Josep Guardiola prodigy. Lovely ball there out to the left. Mason Mount now. Mason Mount cuts inside. Lovely little sharp turn there. It's back to Mount from Grealish. And he slashes the ball across the goal. Only as far as Kieran Trippier, who gives it to Ward-Prowse, who whips it in. Only as far as the first man, not able to get anywhere. Thank Jack Grealish. Yeah, Jack Grealish has really given you the shaft there, Ethan. I can't lie to you. He has really, really given you the royal shaft. Next 5 years, our team leads is going to be Van der Voort from Bruges, unless we have Millier, which I don't think we will. Fairpo, Cresswell, Stroik, Shax, Kenneth. Whoa. This, I mean, look. A lot of those youth players, yeah, but no way all of those youth players are going to develop into top players. I don't want to see that, mate. Where's Rafinha? Where's Calvin Phillips? Did you even say Calvin Phillips? Where the hell's Calvin Phillips gone, man? Calvin Phillips is only going to be, 29 there? He's going to be in his absolute prime. We need some experienced players in there, man. Where's Erling Haaland in the next 5 years? I don't think that squad I'm looking at there that you've just said is very, very appeasing, if you ask me. A few of the players, yes, I think could get in there, but definitely not a defense of Firpo, Cresswell, Stroik, and Shackleton. That does not fill me with confidence at all, I do have to say. Rafinha is at City and Haaland's at Liverpool. KP is at Liverpool. What, are you talking about in real life, or are you talking about what's going on here? Are you talking about in your career mode, or are you talking about in real life here? Because Calvin Phillips is not going to Liverpool. Rafinha is not going to City. And Haaland is definitely not going to Liverpool either. He's coming straight home to Leeds, where he belongs. Let me tell you that. Here we go. Mason Mount. Not even Mason Mount. Felipe Foden, sorry. Out to the left. Can we make it 6? What I think will happen, well, I certainly hope that's not what happens. I certainly do. As Mason Mount comes through now, gives it out. It's Ollie Watkins. Watkins dancing, and he's dancing on ice. And more like dancing on spice, as he had no spatial awareness there and fell over his own footing. Well, I certainly hope that doesn't happen, like I say, and I really don't think it will happen. I really don't think it will. And if that's our squad in 5 years, then that's looking like we're falling down to near championship level squad. Because, yes, a few of those players will develop into top draw players, but there's no way all of those players are going to live up to their potential. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen like that. As the real deal gets the ball again, whips it in there, and Watkins has been thrown to the floor there, flung to the floor, and the referee gives nothing. What a crazy, crazy decision there. Watkins looks disgusted. Harry Kane looks infuriated at the fact that he hasn't been given a bite of the cherry. Of course, things not going too well for him at Tottenham Hotspur. He really, really does cherish these international breaks to get himself back in form, to get himself enjoying his football again. Bit of a reverse from some of the England players of old who really enjoyed their club football but didn't enjoy their international football at all. Harry Kane currently finds himself in a situation where he's not enjoying his club football in the slightest, but come for England and he is loving life. Mez, Melier, Fairpal, Cresswell, Stroik, Shackleton, Somerville, KP, Bate, Patrick Raff, Gelhard. Again, I want to see some more top draw players than that, my friend. I want to see some European pedigree in there, man. I want to see some serious world-class players in the next 5 years. Kane to Newcastle. No chance. Not this soon. Not this early on. He wants to win trophies. And Newcastle is a project that will take at least 3 to 4 years to get anywhere near winning a major trophy. And Harry Kane has not got that kind of time on him. He wants to go somewhere where he's guaranteed trophies. And Manchester City will eventually be that destination. When it happens, I don't know. But it will. And Watkins could have made it 6 there. But he's missed an absolute glorious chance. The goal was gaping. It was gaping wider than a hooker's legs on the red light district. And oh my God, he couldn't finish in an open bathroom. What a terrible, terrible, terrible executed finish that was by Ollie Watkins. But it is 4-0. The game is over. And now we look forward to the main event of the evening, which is, of course, Fury slapping Wilder 6 ways till Sunday. Bate will be in Europa League at 23, so will Cresswell, maybe even CL for me. What do you want? I'll tell you what I want. I want some serious money coming into the club, and then I want some serious players coming in to back it up. I would love to see Haaland back where he belongs at Leeds in 2 to 3 years. Yes, it's unlikely. Yes, it seems very unfeasible right now, but we could get some serious investment. You never know what could happen. Of course, let some of these players develop, and we'll just see how the years take us. Of course, it's very dependent on how long we have Bielsa for as well. But I'd love to see Calvin Phillips and Rafinha still see there. You can't know your realistic 2026, 2017. You can't. I think maybe out of those players you said, 2 of them will develop into full-time starters. I think those 2 players could maybe be Bate and Crescencio Somerville at the moment. You know, I think maybe you could see Joe Gelhard having a good impact on the squad as well. Maybe being a squad player. But like I said, if we're getting European and Champions League football, we're gonna need some European pedigree players there. We're gonna need some experience, and you never know who's gonna come into the market, who's gonna come available. So it's very hard to give a predicted realistic side for 5 years time. I think Bates, Somerville, Cresswell, and Joffrey. Cresswell, I don't. It's too early to say. It's too early to say with a lot of these players. I think he's played very well when he's been here, but is he going to be doing the business in the Champions League? I hope so for his sake, but you never know. And there's always that one player that you don't really see much coming from that is going to shock us all. Shax, I think, will be a squad player personally. That's what his role is going to be. But hey, what a day it's been. England absolutely mauling Andorra full-time 5-0. And wow, we discussed a hell of a lot of stuff there. JT, excellent watch along. Really enjoyed it, and you really engage with the people. Well, I do appreciate that, man. It's all about you guys, not me. It's all about your engagement, not mine. I'm engaged to you. In fact, I'm not even engaged to you. I am full-time married to you. So there's a lot of engagement going on over here. But look, man, it's all about you guys. Of course, I'm going to engage with you lot. You guys are the ones that make these things what they are. And we did have a great time indeed. We spoke about all kinds of stuff. We spoke about Fury versus Wilder 3. We spoke about Leeds United, about our squad investment, about QSI investment into Leeds. We spoke about the Newcastle takeover. We spoke about the England squad. We spoke about fringe players like Jaden Sancho and Jesse Lingard, how they're developing into the team, and so much more. It's been an absolute pleasure with you guys. It's been a pleasure talking about all of this. And we aren't getting CLB realistic. Hey, you never know. Hopefully we can in a few days. But thanks to all of you guys that came along. Curved Glass, Logan Patterson, Michael Brown with special shout outs. Of course, another special shout out to Ethan Bargav tuning in as he always does as well. You absolute living legend. Puppet coming in to mug me off a little bit. Michael Brown, Martin Cook, and of course, Robin Jobby, the star mentions for today. Thank you guys very much for everything. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to see you very, very, very soon. But for now, guys, au revoir. Bon jovi.